On the night of December 24th, the snow outside the Morris family home looked almost staged, too perfect, like something out of a Christmas commercial. Which is exactly why the bloody handprint on the back glass door didn't make sense. No one in the house saw it at first. Not the father carrying in the last-minute groceries, not the mother hanging stockings by the fireplace, not even the teenage son who stomped inside complaining about the cold. The only one who noticed was 8-year-old Lucy. She didn't scream, didn't even whisper. She just stared at it, the red, dripping imprint smeared low on the glass, as if someone had pressed their hand there and slowly slid downward. And she felt something she didn't have a name for. Not fear, not yet, just a strange heaviness in her stomach, like something was watching her, waiting. That handprint was the hook into the nightmare that would unfold over the next 24 hours. Most people in town talked about Christmas like it was some sacred shield. Nothing bad happens on Christmas, they'd say. Not around here. The town had one road in, one road out, one police car patrolling the neighborhoods at night. Safe, quiet, friendly. But just because a place feels safe doesn't mean it is. Inside, the house was warm and loud. Christmas music, boiling apple cider, the dog barking at wrapping paper. No one listened when Lucy tugged on her mother's sleeve to point at the door. Her mother brushed it off. "It's just the reflection from the lights, sweetheart. Go help your brother bring in firewood." But Lucy knew reflections didn't drip. All evening she kept glancing at that door, waiting for the handprint to reappear or for someone to knock or for anything that could explain what she saw. As the hours passed, nothing happened. The adults opened wine, the kids opened early gifts, and the house sank deeper into the comfortable chaos of Christmas Eve. The only strange moment came near midnight, long after Lucy had gone to bed. Her father swore he heard a click, not like the sound of settling wood or the heater kicking on, but sharper, deliberate, the sound of a latch sliding. When he went to check the doors, all were locked. He told himself he imagined it and went upstairs. But he didn't imagine the second sound, the soft pad of footsteps in the snow outside, stopping and starting like someone circling the house. He saw nothing when he peeked through the blinds, just thick, falling snow and the yellow glow of the street lamps. No footprints, no shadows, just cold, empty, quiet. Christmas morning was supposed to be the solution to everything. Everyone woke early, the kids racing downstairs, the adults bleary-eyed but smiling. The dog even seemed excited, tails smacking the walls. Wrapping paper flew, hot chocolate spilled, laughter echoed. For a moment, it felt like any other Christmas. Then the first gift was opened. A box with no label, no handwriting, no "From Santa," no indication of who wrapped it or who it was meant for, just a perfectly neat, painfully ordinary brown package sitting under the tree. The mother assumed it was from her husband. He assumed it was from her. The kids assumed it was for them. But when the box was opened, the room fell silent. Inside was a single, small object. A red knit mitten. Child-sized. Damp. No one recognized it. The parents exchanged looks. The wrapping paper didn't match any of theirs. The tape was a brand they didn't own. The mother kept touching her fingers to her neck like she did when she felt nervous. The father sniffed the mitten. It smelled like cold metal, like something left outside too long. They told themselves it must have gotten mixed into the gifts from a relative. Nothing more.
But the pit in everyone's stomach said otherwise. The day went on. That's what families do after something unsettling. They pretend. They bake cookies. They watch movies. They talk too loudly about normal things. The only person who didn't pretend well was Lucy. She kept staring at the back door, at the snow-covered deck, at the faint smear where the handprint had been the night before. Her eyes never stopped darting. By afternoon, the dog started acting strange, pacing back and forth, stopping at the sliding door to growl at nothing. His fur stood up, his nails scratched nervously against the tile. The father checked outside again. Nothing. No tracks. No disturbances in the snow. But that was the problem. Snow holds footprints. Snow remembers. And the snow behind the house was untouched. Too untouched. As if someone had walked there the night before and then erased their own presence with unnatural precision.
The sun went down early, too early. Christmas lights glowed against frosted windows. The storm picked back up, wind howling softly like distant screaming. The family ate dinner quietly. Everyone was thinking of the same thing, but no one wanted to say it. Then, at 7:43 p.m., the power flickered. Just once. Barely noticeable, but enough to make every person in that house freeze. When the power stabilized, the mother said, "Probably the storm." But Lucy whispered, "He's here." Later that night, when the kids were upstairs and the adults were cleaning up, the father's phone buzzed with an alert from the house's security app. Motion detected. Backyard. 7:59 p.m. He tapped the video. Static. Then a frame. Just one. A single blurred silhouette standing inches from the camera, face obscured by what looked like a white mask. Tall. Lean. Shoulders slightly hunched, as if he were listening, watching, deciding. The father grabbed a flashlight and the fire poker. The mother grabbed her phone, dialing 911. The kids were told to stay upstairs. The dog barked wildly, teeth bared, foam forming at his mouth. The dispatcher said she would send someone immediately, but with the storm, it might take time. She said, "It's Christmas. We're short-staffed." The father stepped into the backyard. Snow. Cold. Silence. Then, footprints. Dozens. Circling the house. Overlapping. Leading nowhere and everywhere at once. Like the person had walked around for hours, listening through the walls. He followed them until they suddenly stopped. Not faded. Stopped. As if the person vanished mid-step, evaporated, lifted away. Before he could react, something moved behind him.
Not footsteps. Breathing. Slow. Calm. Close. He spun around, flashlight trembling in his hand. Nothing. He backed inside, locked the door, double-checked the windows. Police arrived 20 minutes later. They searched everything, found nothing, took statements, and left with the same reassurances every terrified family hears. You're safe now. But the thing about police reassurances, they're always spoken under fluorescent lights, never in the dark, never while listening to the wind whistle against the house. The Morris family didn't sleep. The next morning was quieter. No more footprints, no more alerts. The storm ended, leaving a thick blanket of fresh snow. Sunlight hit the icicles and made them sparkle like glass ornaments. The father dared to hope maybe it was over. He was wrong.
Over the next days, little things happened. The porch light would turn on by itself. The mailbox would be left slightly open. The dog refused to go near the back door. The kids said they heard tapping on their windows at night. Rhythmic tapping, slow and purposeful, not branches or wind. The parents checked. Nothing was there, but the tapping always stopped the second they arrived. Some mornings they woke to find tiny bits of dirt inside the hallway. Not much, just enough to suggest someone had stepped inside while they were sleeping. The police returned twice, but found nothing unusual. But there was something unusual, the sense of being watched, observed, cataloged. And then, one night, the father found something on the kitchen counter. The mitten. The same red knit mitten from Christmas morning. But this time, it wasn't damp from melted snow. It was damp from blood. The family packed bags. They booked a hotel. They left the house in a hurry, lights still on, gifts still scattered, food still sitting cold on the counter. They moved out 3 days later. The house never sold. Realtors stopped showing it after too many potential buyers reported someone standing at the tree line, watching the windows. Too tall to be a kid, too still to be a neighbor. A few months passed. Life went on. Then, the first anniversary approached. The Morris family had a new house, new locks, new cameras, new routines. They didn't celebrate Christmas that year. Too many memories. Too much dread. But the world doesn't care about your trauma. Dates still arrive. Anniversaries still happen. On the night of December 22nd, 3 days before the one-year mark, the family came home from grocery shopping to find something waiting for them on their new kitchen counter.
A red mitten, child-sized, damp with melted snow. None of them owned it. Their daughter stared at it with wide, glassy eyes. "That's his," she whispered. "The man, he had that on his belt." She hadn't remembered that detail until now. Trauma sometimes dredges up memories at the worst possible time. The police were called again. Cameras were checked. The house was searched. Nothing. Everyone tried to sleep that night, but no one did. At exactly 3:08 a.m., the living room camera flickered on by itself, a burst of static, then clarity. A man stood outside the sliding glass door. Same height, same posture, same tilt of the head, but not the same mask. This one was fresh, white, smiling. He lifted a hand and wrote something across the frost-covered glass with one slow finger. A single word. Again. The camera cut out. The police arrived within minutes. Neighbors woke to search parties. Dogs, flashlights, boots crunching on ice. They found nothing, but the word on the glass remained until morning, slowly dripping like tears. The Morris family moved again. Far away this time, the old house sits empty, Christmas decorations still boxed inside the garage. A realtor's sign leans crookedly in the snow. Neighbors say that on certain winter nights, if you pass by at 3:08 a.m., you can see someone standing behind the glass door. Tall, still, patient. And if you look closely through the frost, you might see a faint smear of a word beneath the ice. Again.